Today, I'm going to be sharing every July 2025 readathon that I've discovered. I've organized them from shortest duration to longest duration. I'm Elizabeth and I love books. And let's get into the July readathon guide because there are going to be so many amazing reading adventures for you to take part of. Up first, we have the reversed Dewey's 24-hour readathon. Unlike the traditional Dewey's readathon that typically starts at 8 a.m. Eastern Time, the summer in the month of July, they start the readathon at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on a Friday, which gives you the opposite effect of your normal starting time. This is starting Friday, July 18th at 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and you can just look up your time conversion to find your start time. The point of the readathon is for all these readers around the globe to be reading for 24 hours at the exact same time. The readathon is being hosted on Instagram, Discord, there's a Facebook group, and I believe there's a fairly active Goodreads group too for the readathon. Another short and sweet readathon, we have the weekend at Timmies, which is a readathon based around Canada's coffee chain Tim Hortons. This is hosted by Brittany Loves Reading. It's 48 hours long and it begins July 12th and runs through July 13th. If you're looking for something quick and low pressure, this might be a good option. For something a bit longer, there is a 72-hour readathon being hosted in July. This is being hosted by Donna Marie Reads, and it is being hosted from July 25th through the end of July 27th. And this will be the perfect opportunity to read some of the books you already own under TBR. Now we're going to get into our week-long readathon. We have the third round of Camp Enchanted readathon. This is being hosted from July 21st through the 27th, and they're encouraging you to connect with nature and reading. The next two readathons are both 8 days long. The first one is the Romance Trope Readathon, and this is running from July 4th through July 11th. So taking advantage of the awesome 3-day weekend we have here in the US for Independence Day. This is hosted by Sarah Y. and Brooklyn Reads. The awesome part about this challenge is they have 3 separate bingo boards that you can choose from based on your personal favorite reading romance tropes. The next 8-day readathon is what I'm personally participating in, and this is Summerween. This one happens every single summer, and it is hosted by the wonderful Gabby Reads and is inspired by all things spooky, encouraging people to pick up both thrillers and horror novels. This year, their design is a cute space, sci-fi, desert theme, and it is running from July 5th through July 12th. And they also have a bingo board on their Instagram, but it is completely optional. Now moving into the 2-week readathons, we have the July Noir Readathon, and this one was created by Brienne over at the Loctician. This one runs from July 13th all the way through July 27th, and they're advertising this as a summer expansion of their Blackarine Readathon. They're encouraging people to celebrate Black authors who write in the spooky thriller horror space. And if you didn't get all your Summerween vibes, you could easily tack this on to the end for 3 amazing weeks of spooky books. Another fantastic 2-week event is the Ketchupathon, and their theme this time around is going to the movies. The readathon runs from July 6th through July 20th, and I heard about this through Books and Jam's announcement video. While the readathon originally focused on Book of the Month books, they have now opened this up for any books you have on your shelf. And all of the prompts are movie themed. For a nearly 3-week splash, you can join the Mermaid Marathon Readathon, which sounds like an absolutely wonderful idea for summer. This is being hosted by Macy at the Brightside Girl. This readathon runs from Monday, July 7th through July 27th. The theme is all about mermaids, pirates, islands, and summery nautical vibes. Now we're going to start diving into all of the month-long readathons, and there are several. First up, we have the 2025 Mid-Year Reading Scramble, and this is hosted by the Word Nerd. This is in its 5th year. It's a low-pressure readathon for the entire month of July that encourages readers to make progress on any and all of their reading goals. And they do have an optional gamified element, which basically is a glorified adult version of a summer reading challenge, though that are typically hosted at your local library. Now on for a competitive team-based challenge, we have the Tarot Readathon, which is also running the entire month of July. And the Readathon is based around tarot cards and using those to pick your reads for the month. And this one is hosted by a ton of creators. I will try to list them all below for you. Our next month-long readathon is the Decca Cardsathon. This is being hosted by Becca Books and Bujo and Chloe from Always Reading. And this is based on Becca's card TBR game. And I believe they're also having a live show on August 1st on one of the 2 channels. The next month-long readathon is for classic lovers and particularly lovers of Jane Austen because it is the Jane Austen-athon. What's special about this year is it is the 25th anniversary of Jane Austen's birth, and it would be an awesome time to read Jane Austen's works and watch some of the amazing adaptations. I will leave the host down below. Next, we have a sunrise on the readathon, and yes, you guessed it, it is a dystopian Hunger Game-based readathon. This is hosted by Katie Carlson, and they are starting on the Reaping Day, July 4th. This year, they're focusing on censorship and diverse literature. We also have GioJuly, and I probably mispronounced that. This is a readathon and a watchathon that is being hosted in July, focused on the Italian Giallo genre, which is a style of mystery and thriller books. And in Italy, I believe they have like yellow covers and spines. This is hosted by the Booktube Bus and Slime and Slasher. We have another month-long readathon, which is based on a game. This is the Phase Out Your TBR based on the Phase 10 game. Their focus is on you reading down your current TBR, whether that be physical or digital, or those of you who get ARCs and have an ever-growing NetGalley list. This is an awesome time to tackle those reads. For a geographical reading challenge, we have the Australian Readathon. This is hosted by 4 different Australian booktubers, and their challenge is simple. They want people to read at least one Australian read in the month of July. Back for the 3rd year is Game Night-a-thon, and this year the theme is Labyrinth. This is hosted by the Bemused Bookworm, and this is also a team-based readathon, which is great for anybody who likes those competitive aspects. The next readathon, I think, is a pretty cool readathon, and this is the Disability Pride Readathon. This is hosted on Instagram by Chronically Bookish, and I will leave the announcement post down below, and they have a cool bingo board. And their aim is to champion diverse voices from the disability community. And they're also hoping to raise awareness for people with disabilities and the disabled experience. The next exciting readathon we have is the Resetathon. And the cool thing about this readathon is it is more than a month. It is running from July 1st all the way through August 3rd. So you get a couple extra days of reading in there. This is a great readathon for intentionally resetting your reading habits and intentions. This is hosted by Beatrice Booknook and the Book Hermie, and I believe a few others. And it is mental health inspired. The game around it, and this year it is inspired by the game Tetris. And next, this is a bonus, and this is a year-round challenge starting July 7th, and it sounds awesome. It is HRCYED 2.0, and this is the hardest reading challenge you'll ever do. And this is hosted by Dark Q at QWordy. And this is an epic bingo board readathon. And from what I've seen from round 1, they have an awesome community of people trying to complete this bingo board. So if you want community support, this is also a great option, and one that most people don't even make a full blackout. They're just trying to get a bingo because it is really that hard. There are so many amazing readathons. If you are hosting a readathon or know of one that I missed, please leave it down below. I looked as hard as I could, but unfortunately there are ones that probably slipped through the cracks. And if you know of any readathons for August or you're hosting your readathon, please leave a link to the announcement or a post or something down below so I can make sure I include it in August's readathon guide. Thanks so much for watching today. And let me know what readathons you're participating in the month of July. Subscribe if you like bookish content and hit the notification bell if you don't want to miss out on any of my bookish shenanigans. And give the video a like if you enjoyed this readathon guide. And I will see y'all later. Bye, y'all. Happy reading.